I think as we talk about client orders management, number 4 is what will get you into the list of the fundis. I am now counting down to 3, 2, 1, 0. Finally, the needles are free. Let's pull the last one. Good. So, hello, good people. Welcome back to this channel. This is What Will I Need Next? And my name is Womoe Karaoke. And this time I can afford a smile. So, I actually owe you a video on preparing client orders. And I did a question on my Instagram and I asked you, would you like to hear how I plan for my clients' orders to execute them? Because at that moment I was feeling like I have learned enough lessons and I was feeling like I have enough to share. But hello and behold, I got this order. This is meant to be a client's order, and I understood it the way I understood it. And I totally believe I should have done more in terms of engaging and understanding the particular request. However, I thought I understood it very well. I formed the image as explained in my head. I saw the perfect outcome of this. I went ahead and drew it on paper. Looked so amazing. When I started, looked still good. When I progressed, things started to change. So at some point, I was like, okay, I need to fit this. So I put it on a yarn thread because I don't have cables, and to be able to just spread all the stitches and be able to wear it to fit and see how it looks. And this is what I got. And at this point you're seeing here, I was like, it's not very bad, and I think we are going to progress and achieve the product I have in my head. And so I went on. I continued knitting and got to this point. At this point, I was several yarns in, and I told myself, time to fit again. Hapa sasa ndio nilitaka kulia. Hapa, I was disappointed. I was lost. I didn't know what I'm doing. I totally felt like, Jesus, several yarns in, many hours in, and the picture in my head, the picture that I drew, and this that you're seeing, they're not agreeing. So at this point, I sent this image to the client. And I said, the progress of this item is not what I had in mind when I said I understood. And this is how it looks. And the client opened her WhatsApp. She blue ticked me and she disappeared the whole day. Wait. Me, that's where I got finished. Totally got finished. I didn't know how to progress. Of course, I share my everything, my emotions, my happy moments with you on Instagram. And I put this post and I said, I am lost. I am disappointed. I just need kind words. And at that point, I got someone to tell me there is a meetup, Sip and Stitch are meeting up on Friday. And I was like, I need the stitch therapy. I just need to be among people who will still ask me the same question I've been asked by so many people who have seen me knitting this project. What are you making? But in this group, at least I know when I say it's, I don't know what I'm making. I have an idea of what I'm making. It's an idea gone wrong. People will understand. And that's what happened today. So yesterday being Thursday, I decided that I will not unravel this project. I am going to knit it to exactly the picture in my mind, even if it's not forming as I have in my mind. I'm going to finish it. And because when it's like this, you can't tell exactly what you have. And therefore, even me, for me to be able to tell what I have to put these stitches on a long string and be able to fit it to see. And since I did the first fitting and the second fitting, I was like, I'm not doing the third fitting. I'm just going to finish it. I know what I have in my mind. I have the measurement. I'm going to finish and I'm going to just see what it will turn out to be. So yesterday I decided I'm going to deal with my emotions and I'm going to have a knitting marathon. Of course, it's never a knitting marathon because work has to be done, but I just decided I'm working from home. And yesterday, Thursday, I dedicated my entire day. So I spent a lot of time knitting because I was like, I have to finish this weekend. And of course, all this time, I'm waiting to hear from the client. Your blue tick ili nimaliza. So at some point, because I wasn't hearing from the client, I was like, I sent her another message and I asked her, please tell me what you had in mind. Because this is where I am with this project. And she's the same client who had ordered the scarf. And instead of first telling me what she had in mind, she sent me a message and said, can I see a picture of the finished scarf? So up to now, I have not done the fringes of the scarf. This is her scarf, but I haven't done the fringes. I need to do the fringes or the frills, whatever you call them, at the bottom. So I told her that bit is still not done and I'm going to do it, but here is a picture. And she disappeared again. Bana, this project, this one has been the test of my knitting. Wait, this has been the test. So anyway, eventually she came back to me and she sent me a couple of photos to show me what she had in mind. And I could tell that she's being very supportive, but I think she's also disappointed. And so, yeah, so we agreed that I will do something else from the photos she sent. That is exactly what she wants and expects. But I requested for some time to be able to get my thoughts together and my energy together. So let me tell you, I think as we talk about client orders management, here the first thing is lesson number 1, which I thought I had learned very well, and I have realized I had not learned it very well, is understand the client's order. Aki, even when you think you have understood it, go back and ask for photos. Sometimes clients will send you a photo of the item that they want or a video. These photos come from Pinterest, they come from other people's Instagram accounts, other people's work. Internalizing it and saying you understand, now I can tell you, is not enough. Also, pull out photos that you think you can make that are close as possible to what the client has sent you. Exchange those photos so that your understanding and their understanding, you come to an agreement of the exact item you're making. That one is the first lesson. So now what I'm doing here, I'm casting off. I've added I've added another idea to it, and I have a few more ideas because I'm thinking, well, if it looks like this, we're gonna do something. If it looks like this, we're gonna do something here. So I have this many ideas in my head to try and make it look beautiful. And I'm of course saying, if it is not as beautiful as expected, it's going to be mine, because this is part of my knitting that I never want to forget and I want to celebrate. This is going to be a start of another growth for me. So as I cast off, hey, what are the other lessons I have learned? I don't feel like I am really prepared for teaching you lessons, but they're there and I'm going to share with you so that you're better than me in your orders. You're better than me when you're speaking to clients. You're better than me when you're planning. So, second lesson that I have learned is that when a client sends you a picture or a video of the item they would like you to make, the colors get distorted by the photography and the editing of the particular, whether it's a video or a photo. And so when you're discussing colors that they want, please do not just say yes to those colors that you're seeing in the photo, for two reasons. The first one is what I've mentioned, that the colors get distorted by editing of the photos. And even if they're not highly edited, even the camera just does its own bit. You will never get the actual color on a photo. And the second reason is because these photos and videos are picked from Pinterest, other people's work, and sometimes the yarn is not even known, and therefore you don't even have the color code, or the yarn is imported and it's not locally available where you are, in the country you are. Thirdly is that different brands of yarn have different color variation. So a color like this, maroon, this is seal, I'm using seal. So when you see this color, seal maroon, if you go to another brand, it will be maroon, but there will be a slight variation in the shade. So for that reason, explain to the client that the colors that they're seeing in the photo and the video could be distorted, and you need to agree on colors based on the actual yarn that you're going to use. And this brings me to the third lesson: choosing yarn for a client's project. The client, most of the times, in my experience, is that they don't know these different kinds of yarn and everything. All they know is that it is yarn, it is knitted, or it's crochet, and they expect you to get them that. So explain when you're making something, you know what item it is. So if, for example, they ask for a beanie, from experience as a knitter or a crocheter, you know what yarn works best for beanies and what yarn doesn't work best for beanies, and therefore you'll be recommending yarn that works for the particular product the client has asked for. And also, given that you know the pricing of the yarn and you know the shades, so if you recommend the yarn, please also let the client know what shades are closest to the colors they're looking for. Also, if a client has a yarn in mind and maybe it's imported, take time to find out the pricing and make sure you discuss that before you even accept the order. And this is now lesson number 3. Most of the clients will see different works from different people using different yarns, and therefore priced very differently, because it, the cost of the product is the cost of the materials, the cost of time it takes, and the cost of the profit you want to make. All that is included in that cost. So for example, if somebody is using a local yarn is cheaper than imported yarn. And if a client sends you a picture of an item priced probably at a price that is lower than the yarn they are asking for, it is up to you to explain those differences, because majority don't know that yarn costs differently. There is imported, there is local, there is wool, there is acrylic, there is polyester, there is cotton, there is nylon, there are mixes. They don't have all this information that we have as crocheters and knitters. So explain that, so that when you're putting a cost to the client, it's a cost that you both agree. You, as a person who's working on it, know that you're able to cater for everything in that cost. And for the client, they know that they can afford it. How many have I said? Three. Three or four? I don't know. Now, number four. Hey, number four is what will get you into the list of the fundis. Do you know how people talk about fundi wa nguo, fundi wa viatu, fundi wa TV, fundi wa redio? Ati fundi alisema nikuja after 3 days, na after 3 days hajashona. Amekwambia tena rudi kesho. Kesho hajashona. Now, the timing is what will get you to that list or not get you into that list. And for me, this is the trickiest part, because I'm not a full-time knitter or crocheter. When I take an order, I am never certain how much time it's gonna take. So the trick I've been using until this order, this order is gonna get me on that list, I swear. The trick that I've been using is always giving much more time than it takes. Mostly, customers ask me to make for them things that I have made before, so I have an idea how long it takes to make it. But because I do so many other things, I run a business, I serve in other organizations, sometimes I have to attend meetings, I have to do trainings, I have to also attend to many other things. A week could start with a certain set, very well set calendar that I know Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing this, Wednesday. But by Wednesday morning, things change. And they change in a way that I cannot afford not to attend to the new items on my calendar. And that means that my knitting suffers a bit, because if I was going to put in 4 hours every evening, I might end up putting 2 hours. And that means that I have to extend time. So my trick has always been, and this one has worked for the longest until this order, to give much more time. For example, a scarf will take a whole week if I knit every day. And if I'm doing at least 3 hours, sometimes I can put 4. And then I will give more than a week for that scarf. If it is something new, it is tricky. So use your biggest item that you have made to estimate time you're going to spend on a new item, because a new item may not be as big, but may be a bit complicated, may require you to unravel and start again because it's failing, may require you to be where I am with this one today. It totally failed, and yeah. So avoid disappointing clients by giving, what's the word? Giving high expectations on delivery and underperforming on that. So always make it, give yourself ample time. That's a word. Give yourself more than ample time to be able to deliver to a client. My experience with all the clients that I have made for items is that they are very understanding. Very understanding. They understand that you only have 2 hands to do everything that you do for yourself. And therefore, yes, you could have said 10 hours for an item and it goes to 15 hours. And the fact that clients are very understanding when you're using your hands to make things, handmade things, then do not be afraid to go back and say hello 10 hours are not working. Can I have more? Not unless it's an item that came with a specific deadline, like a birthday, anniversary, baby shower. Now, those ones, if you're taking, please know whatever comes, whatever happens, you cannot miss that date because they will not repeat that event. The client will not have another opportunity to deliver their gift, to deliver whatever they wanted, to wear it if it was for them to wearing. So whenever an item has a specific date, a specific event, always, always, always be upfront, be honest, and say, I can make it or I can't make it. And if things change, sacrifice your sleep. Best advice I can give you. But if it was on a flexible timeline, then always go back and explain to the client. They're very understanding. That's my experience, and I'm sure it's your experience too. So again, let me add this as an item number 5. Make sure to confirm whether the item you're being requested to make is for an event or a special occasion, because now that one, time has to be met. It is a fixed time frame. You have to deliver. What other lesson have I learned? So, quality. Quality. What we do, we hand make items. We use our time, whether our emotions are okay, whether life is giving us lemon or it's giving us lemonade, whether things are working on our end or not. And all those things happening in your life may affect the way your product's outcome is. So if life is serving you a very hot plate, is serving you lemons and you're not able to squeeze them into lemonade, just take a break, change the project, do something different, avoid your emotions and your moment getting into a client's order, because it's much more work to reverse mistakes on a client order, because up and above what you are going through, you will go through the disappointment, you will go through the I wish I didn't do this, you will go through the lost time. So if a day is not daying, if life is not lifing, if things are not working out, keep the client project aside, pick something else that you can deal with your emotion, and you know what, a change is as good as a rest. And then when you're okay, when things are back to working, go back to the client's order and work on that project with your best state of mind and best state of the body. It's not looking that bad. And you know what I did? So the black was too much for me. And I think also the feeling of, I don't know what is happening right here. And I thought, I need a sparkle. I need a sparkle on this project. So I decided I'm going to put an edge of maroon so that it gives the black the sparkle. So I have done that here. And now just casting off, I can't wait to wear this and see how it will look. I'm going to wear it even before I weave in all the threads. I just want to wear it. Let's go back to our planning for client order. I hope so far those pointers are helpful to you. If they are, let me know in the comment section. So one other thing that I do when I am knitting, I don't just do one project at a time. Even if it's an order I like to have something that breaks the monotony in between. I'm that one person that I can't knit the same thing Monday to Monday. It gets a bit boring, and I don't like the feeling of boring, because the minute I start feeling like a project is getting boring, then I will lose interest in it. And you can imagine if it's a client order, I don't want to lose interest in it. So I like to have at least 2 or 3 projects that are going on together, so that if one feels like it's now becoming monotonous, I can jump on the other one and I can take that change. It's really helpful for me to have that change in between the project. Sometimes, if it's a big project, what I do is I'll do a skein. Once I finish a skein, I'll do something different in between. I choose small projects, or I choose something that is going and it's exciting. I just do something different in between the skeins, and then I get back to the project. And that way, even I'm excited and my creativity about a particular project doesn't go down, because when I was taking a break with another project, I am thinking about the project that is waiting, and how I think it's coming along, and do I need to make changes here and things. I'm thinking about it and I'm figuring it out without it in my hands, so I can give it a good thought, or yes, thought. So that's other thing that I do when I'm doing projects. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this one. My heart is just. We are almost there. We are almost there. I really don't know how it's gonna look. I don't know whether I'm going to cry. I don't know whether I am going to laugh. I don't know whether I'm going to scream. I don't know whether I'm going to jump. I have no idea. I've never been in this situation where I've made something that I am totally clueless about how it looks and how it will fit and how it will even look on someone. Never been in this position before. And the anxiety. Wait, if you've never subscribed to this channel, please, it's time to hit that button, because I am now counting down to the last few stitches. Wow. Hit that button. Also hit the notification bell. And this is 3, 2, 1, and 0. Finally, the needles are free. So now let's cut the yarn and see. Oh God. Okay. Zip. Let's pull the last one. Good. So guys, it is the moment of truth.